悪と戦う君に力を貸そう。君が私のことを信じてくれる限り。
Yo, what's good, y'all? Loud here. If you've been keeping on with OCTOPATH cotc, you should know that we're getting a collaboration with Live a Live, but that means 2 new travelers being added. Let's go over the main character of Live a Live, Oersted. He is a wind warrior of the famed faction, hailing from the memoirs. As a free traveler for everyone to obtain, he is pretty good. If you are someone who is just starting the game, he is an absolute unit and will carry you quite far through the story. He's able to hit multiple weakness, and his damage will only increase in battle, as his passive increases his potency and his abilities. Let's go ahead and dive deeper into his kit. But first, Yuichi Nakamura is his VA. We've seen him voice other OCTOPATH cotc travelers before, so it's not surprised that we would see him again. But if you didn't know, he's the VA for Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen, or our boy Movement Rider from One Punch Man. Anyways, let's go ahead and check out his notable damaging skills. His first ability is the Crushing Blow. It's an SP cost of 40, it's a one-hit single target damage, and it also hits staff as well too. And it inflicts 20% defense down with potency 170 and of sword damage calculation. His second ability is the Heavenly Strike. It's an SP cost of 53, it's a one-hit single target sword damage attack, and it also hits polearm. Potency is increased by 20% if the enemy is broken. Again, sword damage calculation with potency of 230. His third ability is the Blade Rain. SP cost of 83, and it's a 4-hit AoE sword damage attack with potency 45. His last ability is Wind Bite. It's an SP cost of 64, and it's a 4-hit random target wind damage attack, potency of again 45. His ultimate is a one-hit single target sword damage attack that also hits fire, 440 at level 1 and 525 at level 10, and the target is combusted for 2 turns. Now for his passive. His first one is the Heroic Nature. When using skills, he gains 1 Valor point, and it raises the potency for his abilities by 5%, capping at 45%. The second passive is the Mirrored Strike. When using 3 or more BP, he can counter physical and elemental attack with a one-hit AoE sword damage attack that also hits wind. Then he has a 10% in wind resistance and 20 lightning. Taking a look at his stats, he's got a rather high attack at 424, or that long fist passive which increases potency, and he'll definitely be hitting like a truck. Like most warriors, his speed isn't that impressive at 270, so he'll most definitely be at the end of the turn order in most battles. So the main question, should you keep pulling? We're all getting a free Oersted. His A4 accessory isn't anything crazy to get about, as it's a physical attack of a 70 and a defensive 70, and a 20% SP cost reduction to abilities. This by itself is niche, and you're better off saving your rubies. As a warrior, he has access to an AoE 4-hit sword attack. Although the SP cost is high, this by itself is amazing and will come in handy in any team that's up against multiple enemies weak to sword. So if you're a fan of Live a Life and like him as a character, getting him to Awakening 1 could be worth your time. But then I will stop there, as the real prize, or the traveler that you want from this collaboration, is coming later. Now, longevity. As a new player or free to play, he is amazing. If I would have received him at the very beginning of the game, I would have been a very happy man. He outshines all warriors up until Richard and Rondo, and the fact that he's also free for everyone is just amazing. He'll have a spot for anyone who's lacking warriors, but for others like myself who have the majority of the warriors in the game, he's gonna get outshined quick. Most of his abilities where he can hit either staff or polearms are a single hit attack, making him in terms not great at breaking. His gimmick of Valor points are nice to have, but building him up to 9 turns of him using his abilities each turn to get to the cap of 45% potency, that hinders him a lot, especially if he does get knocked out later on. So he's great for a free unit, but nothing to gasp over when compared to someone like Elrica or another warrior that's coming with this collaboration. Anyways, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Character design, 4 out of 5. Perhaps I can't really say, as I've never played the original game, so I don't have the same appreciation as those who've played the game. He looks cool though. Definitely looks like a typical swordsman from a 90s game. From his artwork alone and the soundtrack, it reminds me of the Tales games on the SNES. His VA, 5 out of 5. Yuichi Nakamura is an amazing VA, and I enjoy his role as Gojo in Jujutsu Kaisen. Abilities, 3.5 out of 5. As a free unit, his abilities are great. A 4-hit AoE sword attack will always be nice to have. Longevity, 3 out of 5, but as a warrior, it's difficult for him to be relevant, as there are so many great warriors coming out. Level buff, 0 out of 5. Unfortunately, he didn't get any. Time limited, yes, 0 out of 5. He's part of the collaboration, so make sure you log in to get your free copy. Overall impression, 3.25 out of 5. Again, he's great as a free unit, so if you're lacking a good warrior that can break sword weakness, he is one that you might want to put in your team. And his attacks only get stronger the longer you have him in battle. But again, just make sure he doesn't go down with all those stacks. Okay, well that was it for Oersted. Let me know what you think of him, and if you're going to be pulling for him. I'm going to stop at the free copy. His abilities are great if you're just starting the game, but it's only going to get more difficult to use him later on. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourself. Let out.